So, World of Tanks. Okay, it's 2023. What the fuck? You must be thinking, what the fuck is he doing? It's 2023. World of Tanks? Really? This is an old ass game, and that's exactly because you should try it in 2023. I think it's like 10 years or so, maybe even more. This is not my first time playing it. I used to play it back in the day when it just appeared. And the game, let me tell you, the game has changed a lot since then. The graphics changed. You know, they are using the different engine. Well, they call it differently, but I think it's just an upgraded version of the original engine. The original engine was called Big World, if I'm not mistaken, and then this is the engine called Core, I think. That's just the name. I think it's just an upgraded version. Anyway, so the graphics are different, the sounds are different. The music is great in this game, I would say. The soundtrack is just, it's really good. So they added a lot of stuff in it. You know, when I started playing it back in the day, the game only had like 3, 4, maybe 5 trees, like Germans, Soviets, Americans, and then they added British tree and then the French tree. There were no Chinese, Japanese, Czechs, Polish, Swedish tree, and Italian tree. I went for the artillery. I grinded to tier 10 with artillery. I don't have access to that account anymore because I don't remember the email I used, and so it's kind of lost. So I started with my World of Warships account. I've never played on that account in World of Tanks. So I started anew just maybe a week ago. You know, they have this new player experience. There's a set of missions, like Tank Academy is called. Like around 30 missions, and you can complete them and you will get to tier 8. You will get to tier 8 and you will get the tier 8 vehicle in the end. It's you will get boosts to your experience and to your silver. So you will be able to get your first tier 8 vehicle relatively quickly if you do all those Tank Academy missions. That's how I got this Italian piece of shit, because that's what it is, you know. So yeah, it's one of the new-ish trees now, the Italian tree, and they have this support heavy tank. You know, this is one of the new things they have in the game. So starting from tier 6, I think, tanks begin to have roles. So there are like different roles for different tanks. For example, heavy tanks, there are breakthrough heavy tanks, support heavy tanks, assault heavy tanks, like this one. This is breakthrough, another breakthrough, assault heavy tank, Assault heavy tank, assault. So basically, I don't think it's really new because even before that, tanks had different characteristics and they played differently. Because players played them differently. They just basically, you know, made things obvious. Because some tanks have better armor, others have better guns, etc., etc. So assault tank is basically a tank with the very thick frontal armor. And breakthrough tank is also has a thick frontal armor, but is more mobile. The speed is basically a bit faster, it's etc., etc. There's the support tank. I don't know what the fuck is this, but I decided to go with Italian tree. I just wanted some exotics. Well, no, this is just it's not good because basically this tank doesn't have armor. Well, consider it a thing because everyone will penetrate you. Everyone. And you need to basically hide. And stay in the back. That's my understanding. Anyway, so there's these roles. They also have campaigns now. It's a series of missions. You complete it, but that's a long ass series. They're not so easy to complete. Once you complete all of these 5 series of missions, you'll get a vehicle for free, a special vehicle. So you have to complete these campaigns one after another. You start with Stug, and then there's the last one is Object 260, and there's another series. This is based on the vehicle you play. I mean, there are several blocks and you have to play a vehicle from a certain block. And the last one is Object 279. So it's really long and it's not so easy to complete, but you are going to get some rewards for doing this shit in the process, like silver and some other stuff. So they have these campaigns and they have a battle pass. I don't know what's the usual thing about the battle pass, but right now you have like 3 chapters. You can only progress through one of the chapters and you have to select it, but you can switch at any time and start progressing through another chapter. And at the end you will get skin for the specified tank. This is the skin you're going to get. Something like the, I don't remember the name, it's like ultimate skin or something like that, and a legendary skin. So it has 4 stages. So you can get the skin for Rhino, for Mouse, or for the Swedish medium tank, Judas. And you also get Commander, I think. Yes, they have female crew members in this game right now. By default, the crew is the crew are only males, but you can recruit a special female crew members. I think campaigns finishing a campaign gives you a female crew member. And a battle pass can also give you a female crew member. This is the trick. So this is the new shit. When I played, you know, this game had gold ammo, like this one, with increased penetration and damage. You could only buy it for gold, for real money. You know, that game was pay to win. They changed it. It's now for silver, but people still call it gold ammo. Because if you are going to use it constantly, you will quickly run out of silver. Very quickly. This game still has pay-to-win mechanics in it. You know, because there's this thing, for example, directives. It increases your crew efficiency, basically. And they cost a lot of silver, as you can see. So if you like buy gold and get some silver, you can use these directives all the time, making your tank more efficient. The same goes for consumables. No, they're very expensive. You're not going to earn silver credits if you plan on using the consumables all the time. Even the basic consumables are expensive. And there's also a set of advanced consumables. And then there's equipment. There's like several sets of different equipment. There's standard, then improved, then bounty, and then experimental. I don't think this particular thing is pay to win, because this improved, for example, you can only get it for bonds, I think. And that's another special currency. It's something like coal or steel in World of Warships. But the standard one costs a lot of silver. More than that, I think there's several versions of it, so you can have an upgraded version of this equipment. So they added Italian tree, a Swedish tree, even Polish tree, and Czech tree, and the Chinese tree. So the same thing in this game, just like it is in World of Warships. If you want to win more than you lose, you need to do, well, at least two things. First, you need to play in a squad with 2 or 3 people, 2 or 3 nerds, and you need to use the most popular or broken tanks, probably premiums or really good unbalanced attack 3 tanks. That's how you win more than you lose. The same shit is in World of Warships, so nothing new here. Some tanks are just plain bad and some are really good. So they have this relatively new tree or branch of Chinese heavy tanks, and they have a jetpack. This thing, you can use it to temporarily boost your speed. The tank is kind of slow, but you can boost it by using your jets, and you have a limited number of uses per game. Hopefully you don't have to pay for them. So this is an assault heavy tank, and he's basically, well, he's kind of hard to penetrate from the front. You can hit these things, well, as usual, and these things you can penetrate, but it's not that easy as you can think. So this one is pretty powerful. Then you have the Super Conqueror. This is another popular heavy tank, also pretty powerful. Then the Swedish medium tank. I think it's also getting traction and popularity. Well, there are others. I'm not an expert, so you can watch other videos. They will explain to you which tank is good and which is not so good. Soviet tanks are basically really good. If you are a new player, you can start with Is-7. That's a pretty good tank, easy to use. That's the way I heard it. I've never played it, but Yeah, so about artillery, I think they changed it. Artillery used to be like really, really powerful, you know, like dealing so much damage. I think they nerfed it, so it's more like a support thing now. Doesn't do as much damage as it used to do. But the thing is, they can stun your crew, your tank crew. So if a shell drops near you, your tank crew will be stunned for several seconds, like 10 seconds or so. So that will decrease your tank efficiency for a while. And they are pretty annoying. That hasn't changed. They used to be fucking annoying, and they still are annoying. But you can't have more than 2 artilleries in a match. That's good. You know, tank destroyers also have like different roles, like assault tank destroyers and versatile tank destroyers. And there are snipers. Sniper tank destroyer. So snipers don't have much in terms of armor, but their guns are really accurate and can do some decent damage. And assaults are to be played close to the front line. So this is the thing. I think you should try this game in 2023. Even because of its old age, it's still pretty good. And you know, they have World of Tanks on consoles, and that game, I think it uses a different engine. That's like a completely different game. It's built on Unreal Engine 4, I think. So that game has modern tanks. Actually, all tanks are divided into 2 eras, like World War II era and then post-war era. And you know, there are blocks, different blocks, like NATO block, and then the Warsaw Pact block, or Eastern block, or Western block and Eastern block, and then there are independents. So this game doesn't have this shit yet, but maybe they will. Eventually they will implement it here, I don't know. So that game has Abrams and Leopards and latest T's tanks. So more or less latest. What else? Well, there are many things actually. I just can't remember everything. There's this thing called blueprints. So you can get those from completing different missions, campaigns and battle pass. Basically what this means is you can get a discount, a research discount. So this will increase the amount of experience you need to research a vehicle. So you the blueprint has several parts in it. You can like assemble one part and that will give you a discount. More parts will basically reduce the amount of experience required even further. So if you have all parts, you can fully research a vehicle without spending experience. Then you have this thing called field modification. I haven't touched it yet. You can basically customize your tank, like adding different kinds of suspension, other equipment, and you can switch your loadout. It's like a loadout or something before the game starts, before the match starts. This is something that would be useful in World of Warships. They don't have it yet, but I think they should have it, because World of Warships has this it has planes, and you can go for the AA build, basically very effective against planes, or you can ditch the AA and go for something different, and that depends on whether you are going to have a carrier in the match or not. So if you start a match and see that you don't have a carrier, you basically your AA build is useless, because there won't be any planes in the match. So yeah, but that game doesn't have this, and I think it should have this option. So you could switch to a different build right before the start of the game. And there's this visual thing. You can customize like camo, decals, emblems, and all this shit. Look, camo in this game apparently still give you bonus to concealment. World of Warships removed this bonus. Camos became cosmetic only. This game still has this bonus. This is another pay-to-win element. And then you have crew skins. So I have some, but I'm not using them. So these are without voiceover. I suppose there are some with voiceover. So let's play a game, and I'm warning you, this is not pre-recorded shit. I'm doing this live, so I can suck utterly and completely, and the match can end in like 0-15 or 1-15. This shit actually happens quite a lot in this game, so expect to be like blown out of the water really quickly, because the shit happens much faster in this game compared to World of Warships. So you will get destroyed like in just seconds, because the maps are smaller. You travel faster, and the shells, they travel faster. So you will get destroyed a lot. Let's do this.
Diamoci da fare!
This tank has no upgrades except for the gun, because I wanted to just quickly get through it and just get the tier 9 one. So, but the gun is really long. I don't know why. Maybe because this is an Italian tank, they like spaghetti, so the gun is really long. This is artillery. Didn't do much in terms of damage, but stunned my crew.
L'abbiamo preso!
Yeah, this is going to be a loss anyway.
Rimbalzo! Capocarro ferito! Watch out! Retreat! Li abbiamo danneggiati! Il motore è stato colpito! Entrato! Forcito zničeno!
This is one of those matches, you know, because in this game you will be constantly feeling like you are powerless and there's nothing you can do because matchmaking, I wouldn't even call it a matchmaking because it's a randomized shit. Basically they find players of the same tiers and create a game. It's like match creator, not matchmaker. They don't match players based on their skill. So you will be having blowouts all the fucking time. Because once you start playing this game, and like you played like 10, 20 battles, like got to tier 4, tier 5, and you will be matched with players who played 80,000 battles or 50,000 battles. That's just usual thing for this game. So I would call it abusive matchmaking, because the those nerds who've been playing this game for ages, who spend money and lots of time on it, they just abuse the new players. And there's also the tier difference, because if you are playing against a tank which is 2 tiers higher than your tank, there's basically very little you can do. You will get destroyed. Simple as that. So let's play another one. So this is one of the campaigns which is active. You need to complete the first mission, and the second one is a bonus. You will get a bonus reward if you complete it with honors.
Facciamogli vedere chi comanda!
You know, I'm tier 8 and I'm against tier 10. There's nothing I can do, basically. I could spend gold ammo, but I'm not going to. That's very expensive. So there's very little I can do right now in this game. I can just sit in the back and just land some shots, maybe, if I'm lucky. They say Italian heavy tanks are to be played hull down. Hull down means that you need to hide the hull of your tank, and only so that only your tower can be seen. The turret, I mean. That's hull down, because the hull doesn't have any armor on Italian tanks. One of the most important skills in this game is patience. You need to be like really patient, because you have this crazy urge to rush in and pew pew pew. Don't do that. Just be patient. Your time will come. Your ass will be kicked. I am just a huge target. Once they notice me, they immediately will start firing, because they know, like, I'm very easily penetrated with every single shot. late game can be really really painful, especially if they have tank destroyers. Tank destroyers can just sit at the base and camp in a bush. Once you get spotted, you will be destroyed. Several of them will fire at you, and you are done. But this is not the game to lose.
Colpito! È rimbalzato!
Well, you see, it's just you basically you can even you know, deal no damage, and your team will still win. You know, this game has mods, so you can install different kinds of mods. I mean, the mods, they don't change the gameplay, of course, but they change some UI mainly, and sounds. You can have a voice pack for your crew and some UI changing mods. Anyway, I saw this guy. He had a mod installed, and instead of this battle button, the button was called RNG. That's a good idea of what this game is about, because the game is basically roll of a dice. If you are playing solo, your influence on the outcome is not really significant. But like I said, if you are playing in a squad with other nerds and with some OP tanks, then you can have some influence and turn the game into your favor. Otherwise, it's just for the most part, it's a roll of a dice. Yes, you can have an influence, but you need to, you know, play a special tank, which is influential, and play in a special way, etc., etc. If you want to just play, you will be getting losses. So yes, I've been shilling for this game in this video. Yes, you should try it if you haven't already. It's still a nice game. This game is not made by Americans, well, at least the PC version, I think, so that's a good thing. This game is about World War II mainly, so you have Soviets, Americans, Japanese, Germans fighting each other. And it's a free game, you don't have to spend anything on it if you don't want to. I usually don't spend money on free-to-play games because I play a lot of games. If I start spending money on them, I will just go bankrupt. Now this premium I had, I got it through the Tank Academy and those missions and shit. I think there's also what's it called, a referral program or some shit like that. I don't know. So yeah, I can give you the code, use it, you will get some shit, I will get some shit. I don't know where to get that code. It should exist, I think. So go for it, try it. And that's it for now. Until next time. And don't forget to subscribe.